Sevgili seyirciler, Aramızda Müzik Var ile yeniden birlikteyiz. Müzik yolculuğumuzun bu haftaki durağı Saraybosna. Burada bulunmamızın nedeni konuğum Amira Medunjanin. Milbatsa Nehri'nin vadisinde Trebeviç Dağı'nın eteğinde yer alan Saraybosna, taş devrine dayanan uzun ve zengin bir tarihe sahip. Şehrin yakınında Neolitik dönemde Butmiller ile başlayan yerleşim, sonra sırasıyla Romalılar, Slavlar ve Gotlar tarafından sürdürülür. 15. yüzyılda Osmanlı İmparatorluğu'nun egemenliği altına girer. Doğu-batı ticaret yollarında önemli bir merkez olarak gelişir. Avusturya-Macaristan İmparatorluğu 1850'de şehrin yönetimini devralır. Takvimler 1914 yılını gösterdiğinde hepimizin tarih derslerinde okuduğu olay gerçekleşir. Bir Sırp direnişçisi İmparatorluk Veliahtı Franz Ferdinand'ı vurur. Ve bu olay Birinci Dünya Savaşı'nın başlangıcı olur. Şehir, İkinci Dünya Savaşı'nda Alman işgaline uğrar. Savaştan sonra yaralarını hızlı sarar ama 1992'de Yugoslavya'da bağımsızlık rüzgarlarının esmesiyle yeniden acı günleri başlar. İç savaş ve soykırım binlerce Saraybosnalı'nın hayatını kaybetmesine sebep olur. Saraybosna hem çeşitli kültürlerin hem acı günlerinin izlerini taşıyan dokusuyla farklı bir şehir. Bosna Hersek'te edebiyat ve sahne sanatlarının yıllar içindeki gelişimini anlatan ilginç bir müzeye geldik.
Welcome to the Museum of Literature and Performing Arts of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us the story of this building, please?
Yes, the house and the garden are the monument of the natural culture of the first category. There are two reasons for it. For its architecture, and the house is very old. It originates from the first half of the 19th century. Okay. Also, there's the second reason. This house was owned, its last inhabitant was Iva Despić, first academic sculptor that was female in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So all the works on the facade of the house are the original works of this particular artist.
It's beautiful.
Yes, the house is beautiful and we use it as a museum from 1961 when the museum was officially established. We are standing in the working room of Silvije Strahimir Krančević, 19th century writer who was born in Croatia but spent all his working life in Bosnia and Herzegovina, thanks to the fact that he was rebellious and Catholic Church didn't want him in Croatia. This whole room everything he ever owned, including manuscripts, three-dimensional objects, his whole original, his old books and his personal library, his personal artworks.
Now where are we?
We are in the big room. We call it big room because there are five the pieces of the collections that we hold on five of really big and well-known Bosnian writers. You can see part of the working room of Petar Kočić, a Bosnian Serb writer from 19th century that was also the politician. There is a complete collection on his works, his manuscripts, his personal library. He was killed in the Second World War as a well-educated Jew. There is another Jewish writer, the most famous Jewish writer of all times in Bosnia and Herzegovina. He wrote only in Bosnian. His name was Isak Samokovlija. He is the author, among other beautiful works, of the drama called Hanka. Here is the part of the collection of Branko Ćopić, the most popular writer for children in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So behind her back is a collection on Zijad Izdarević. Manuscripts we have in the museum are published after his death. So behind their back is part of the beautiful and very big collection on Mak Dizdar, the writer who discovered medieval Bosnia. Mak Dizdar is maybe the most famous poet in Bosnia of all times. In Bosnia we only remember since the Turkish times. He was one of the writers that understood that we are a little bit older than that. There was, during the whole existence of socialist Yugoslavia, there was one Nobel Prize given to the writer for literature, and his name was Ivo Andrić. In Sarajevo only, you can see the original manuscript of the seminal work Bridge over Drina. Mehmet Meša Selimović, the most valuable thing that we have from the heritage of Meša Selimović is the original manuscript of his book, which is translated to many, many languages, including Turkish. It's called Dervish and the Dead. It is a story situated in the Ottoman period in Bosnian history. This is like the part of our permanent exhibition that shows the short history of the institutional theater in Bosnia and Herzegovina. First, at the beginning of this part of the exhibition, there are like the puppets from the theater of shadow, because in Bosnia and Herzegovina, like the known history of theater consists of the first part is Ottoman period theater of shadows, the Karađoz theater. So it was. So the first official theater in Bosnia and Herzegovina was established in 1920s only, and before that, the owner of this house held the amateur plays in one of his houses.
That's great.
So this is one of the reasons it's beautiful to have Museum of Literature and Performing Arts right here.
Avusturya Macaristan döneminde 1897-1898 yıllarında inşa edilmiş bu yapı Saraybosna Ulusal Tiyatrosu. Neo-Rönesans tarzdaki gösterişli ön cephesi ve iç dekorasyonu ile dönemin zenginliğini yansıtıyor. Bu tarihi yapı Saraybosna Ulusal Tiyatrosu opera ve balesi performanslarına ve Saraybosna Filarmoni Orkestrası konserlerine ev sahipliği yapıyor. Ülkenin ilk profesyonel tiyatro topluluğu 1919'da kurulmuş ve 1921'de ilk performansını sergilemiş. Bünyesine 1946'da müzik, opera ve bale katılmış. Saraybosna Ulusal Tiyatrosu Opera ve Balesi halen Bosna Hersek'teki tek opera ve bale topluluğu. Şanslıyız. Verdi'nin Don Carlo operasının provasını izleyebiliyoruz.
Io voglio doppio sacrificio,
Vijećnica, Bosna Hersek'in 105 yıllık tarihine tanıklık etmiş, en acı günlerini birebir yaşamış Saraybosna'nın mimari açıdan en özel binası. Vijećnica açıldığından beri Saraybosna'nın sembolü ve ikonik bir motif. Yapının mimari tasarımı, tarihsel eklektizmi harmanlayarak ağırlıklı olarak İspanya ve Kuzey Afrika'nın İslam sanatında bulunan mağribi ifadesiyle tasarlanmış. Vijećnica, 1891 yılında resmi ve idari bir bina olarak açılır. İkinci Dünya Savaşı'ndan sonra ulusal kütüphaneye dönüştürülür. Yugoslavya İç Savaşı esnasında 1992 yılında bir gece top füzeleriyle vurulur. Büyük tahribata uğrayan binada kütüphane koleksiyonunun da %90'ı yanar. Binanın orijinaline uygun tadilatı 1996 yılında başlar ve 18 yıl sürer. 2014 yılında müze olarak açılır. Bugün devlet düzeyindeki kültür sanat etkinlik ve festivallerine ev sahipliği yapıyor. ...1888 yılında kurulan Bosna Hersek Ulusal Müzesi, arkeoloji, etnoloji ve doğa bilimleri bölümlerinden oluşuyor. Arkeoloji bölümü, klasik kronolojik anlayışla 3 kısma ayrılmış. Prehistorya bölümü, klasik antik dönem bölümü ve Orta Çağ bölümü. Koleksiyonlar taş devrinden erken Orta Çağ'a kadar Bosna Hersek'teki insan hayatını tüm yönleriyle gösteriyor.
Ne znam šta da radim sa sobom, na šta misli da baci. Evo stvaram polako pjesmu o tebi. Gledam tvoje tijelo, ludujem za njim. Ponavljam sebi samo jedno. Poljubi me, pa mi prste u kosu vuci i zagrli me. Uz mene i zapjevaj, ako znaš. Bilo što želim da se stisnem uz tebe, milujem i šapućem na uho bisere. Da ti pričam o slobodi, da se grupiram, da ti kažem, ah ti ludo jedina. Poljubi me, pa mi prste u kosu vuci i zagrli me. Poljubi me, se priviti z mene i zapjevaj, ako znaš. Bilo što
Nice to be here. How are you?
Welcome to Sarajevo. Yeah?
Thank you.
Fine, thank you. I'm fine.
Let's start with your childhood.
It was quite a long time ago.
No.
But it was a very happy childhood, I can say. I was born in the 70s, and those were happy times in many ways. And grew up in Sarajevo, born in Sarajevo, live in Sarajevo. Go out and come back, you know, here and there. But, you know, Sarajevo in my blood, definitely.
Is there, in the family, is there someone who was singing, who was playing something?
Nobody. Not a single person. As I said, I'm the only one and a black sheep of the family. But no, it's my mother has got. She's not tone deaf, let's put it that way, and she's got beautiful voice, and my sister and my brother, but never actually ever wanted to be in music professionally. None of them. I didn't want to be in music professionally. You know.
Who discovered your music talent?
Well, it was my family, my friends, you know, and I knew since I was aware of myself and my being, you know, that I can sing. You know? But as I said, I never wanted for the music and singing to become my profession, because it was always something very intimate, something very of my own. You know, if I feel down, if I have some problems in life or whatever, I would sing to help myself, but alone. Later on, you know, obviously there are certain things in life that you cannot avoid. You know, whatever is destined from up there, it will happen to you. So it did happen at the end. And it was due to the fault of a frontman of the band called Letu Štuke from Sarajevo, Dino Šaran. and my husband, who persuaded me to go and into the studio and start recording. That was really a long time ago now. It's 16 years ago.
How you decided to be a musician? You decided.
Well,
Because this is your choice.
it is my choice. It was my choice at the end, you're right. But you know, first of all, I had to follow my father's wishes, you know, and my mother's wishes, you know. Being a child in a family and a female child, my father was always telling me, you have to have a proper education and not to be dependent on any man if you get married tomorrow. So you need to finish this and that school. You have your independency. I said, okay.
Authoritarian.
Exactly. And I said, okay, I'll do that. But for him and for my mother, you know, to study music and to go to music academy or something like that, that's not the proper thing to do, you know, like you have to go for economics or some other, you know, good school, which I did.
What is your other profession?
Well, I'm an accountant. I was an accountant, and I worked for the European Commission for many years, you know.
Who are your idols when you're growing up?
Oh my God, many of them. I was like sort of an awkward child, not like by the standards, you know, because at the age of 5, I was listening to sevdah music, which is, at that time, it was reserved only for older people, you know. In that way, you know, the youngsters were not listening to it that much, you know. It was like, you have to understand it better, blah, blah. But at the age of 5, I knew almost all the songs that I know today. Wow. And all those beautiful voices. I loved the voice of Nada Mamula, Himzo Polovina, all the great sevdah singers, Safet Isovic. If I start naming them all, it will take forever. But then from that, I went to the extreme. I was like a huge fan of the rock band. It was actually a new wave of bands coming from Belgrade, the Katarina Velika, EKV, so-called, Azra band, or and punk.
Punk?
I was much into the punk. My hair says it all, you know?
Yeah.
I'm still, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Nick Cave, obviously, and the birthday party, what he did, and then later on, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, and Grinder Man. But before that, he was like really into the punk, you know, punk rock, really crazy, avant-garde. But The Clash is the band that really, that was the band I really loved as a teenager.
What was the breaking point of your musical career?
The breaking point? It did actually when I decided to quit the job at the European Commission forever. And I recorded the first album in 2003. And in 2008, I stopped working for the Commission, and I really dedicated myself only to the music. But that part of 5 years, that interim period, I was doing two things, you know, doing for concert. Both. But it was then too tiring, you know. For 5 years, I didn't have a single day of holiday. And then I said, okay, in 2008, goodbye to the old life. And it's really, when I look back, now it's 11 years since I'm only doing this, you know. And when I look back, it's like somebody else was living that life instead of me. It's totally different. It's a different planet to be in the music. And many people tell me, now you live in a colorful, beautiful world. Yeah, I do, and I'm very grateful for that.
How happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
How you describe your music? In that point, we can talk about the sevdalinka.
Sevdah is obviously the traditional music of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it has been existing here for 5 centuries now. And they are all songs that were orally passed from generation to generation. And like my mother taught me majority of the songs. You know, some of them I picked up myself from the radio. But still, I didn't quite understand all the lyrics and the meanings, because in Sevda you have lots of metaphors that are used. You know, for instance, the rose is talking.
Yeah.
Obviously, the rose doesn't talk, you know, so the rose is actually the darling of her.
That's interesting.
Exactly. It's beautiful stories behind. So when you try to translate them, it's quite impossible to do it, you know, because it loses the essence, it loses that merak and the power. And it is very moving music and something I'm very proud of, really. And I feel very privileged to be able to spread the word about Sevda around the world. And Sevdalinka is a song about Sevda.
That's it.
And you know what Sevda means. It's got Turkish origin.
It's coming from Turkey.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful word.
It's a beautiful word.
It's difficult to translate to English, for example.
Yeah. In Turkish, it's like a black. In Turkish, what does it mean? Like love. But in Arabic, the meaning of savda, the black substance that circulates in your body when you feel all the different kinds of emotions. Black bale, sometimes, I don't know, I think it's black bale.
Yeah.
Correct me, English people, if I'm wrong.
Maybe you are.
But it's got something to do with this, you know, when you feel anger, when you feel love, when you feel lust, when you feel jealousy. Exactly. And then at that moment, you know, this liquid starts circulating in your body, and that's savda. Beautiful.
What was your unforgettable concert in your career?
That's a difficult question, to be honest with you, because each and one of them is totally different to another. It's always like a new experience, you know. Different plays, different people in the audience, different energy. But something I cannot be unjustness. I cannot do unjustness to other concerts if I just pick one. But if I'm talking about a specific place or a specific performance and the occasion, it will definitely be the performance we had at the Trafalgar Square in London during the Olympic Games, Summer Olympic Games.
That's beautiful.
2012, yeah. So basically I got a task to form the band of 10 Balkan countries. You know, from each country, one musician to play with me. 10 of us on stage, and we performed like for an hour for the Olympic Games. And for me, it was special because I come from the Olympic city, you know, Sarajevo was Olympic city. So that's something I shall cherish.
You perform all over the world. How is the interest for traditional music?
It's actually quite, I think this is the perfect time for people to go back to the roots in general. Why? Because we are living given the circumstances around us, we are living a very fast life, you know. Then people forget sometimes just to stop and look inside. Are you happy with what you're doing, you know? Are you giving to the world what you should give to the world, you know? Because we're not going to be here forever.
Of course.
Yeah? So let's use the time given to us in the best possible manner and the way, and do the good to other people, you know, and as well to yourself. So all these songs that I'm performing are actually, they were like sort of teachers throughout my growing up. So when you read the lyrics, I get a lesson in life. So I think this is the perfect time for people to you know, to share their their heritage, their home heritage, you know. And that's what we do. And I see the audience when they come in, even though they do not understand the lyrics, they are moved. And they really react the same way as we do. You know, I remember certain part of my life during the performance, you know. And sometimes it brings tears to my eyes, sometimes it brings smile to my face, you know. It's always different sensation, you know. And that's the impact we did on concerts to the people. And I know that because they come to me after the concerts and they tell me, oh, I remembered my grandmother when I was a kid, you know, and she used to bake these beautiful cakes. I could smell the cake when you were singing this and that song. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
So that's the power of music. So I think that this is the best possible time for all of us to go, you know, just to go inside of ourselves and reconnect.
How nice that you pass all these feelings to the audience, you know.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
That's why I say I'm privileged,
yes.
grateful.
Yeah. Music is an international language. What is your feeling about that?
Without music, imagine the world without it.
Can you imagine?
No.
Me too.
It would be like a void.
Me too.
You know, like an empty space, nothing, nothingness.
Take music from our life.
That's it.
Half of our life is gone.
Yeah.
Half of the life.
I would feel very, how to say, shallow, empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without it, it makes no sense.
You performed in Turkey several times. What is your feeling about Turkish audience and Turkish musicians?
I mean, I was very fortunate, and I am still very fortunate to be working with brilliant instrumentalists. I mean, they're not instrumentalists, they're like really true artists in all possible way. Hakan, I hope, Günger. He's a star.
Very talented
He's
musician.
just amazing, beautiful playing, and beautiful person as well.
Yeah.
And Yurdal Tokcan, he's like,
Yeah.
he's just a magician on oud, definitely, and really special people. So, every time I played, it was fantastic. You know, the last concert we had in Istanbul at the
Cemal Reşit Rey.
Exactly, concert hall, and it was packed. It was full. Everybody was, you know, clapping at some stage. You know, if I ask them to clap, they clap. And it was... I love Istanbul, I have to tell you. I've a couple of... maybe like 4 favorite... The most famous city in my heart. I was in Bursa also. I played in Bursa. And the whole city was like blooming, you know, with flowers. I do remember that. In the parks in the city, you know, like flowers everywhere. I will never forget that, never.
That's good.
But Istanbul, very special, very special.
Do you have any new plans, new projects?
I always have plans. There's always something cooking in my head. It's just I don't have enough time to, you know, to make it all at once. You know, I was thinking of if you know, do you watch the Star Trek? Mm-hmm. No. And Picard and Voyager and traveling through the space, and then the possibility of teleportation, you know, and they have a little button there, you press it, and you can be on 3 different places at the same time. I wish I can have that, you know. I would actually volunteer if somebody comes up with this teleportation device.
Can you tell us about your one day? How you pass your day?
If it's like working day, it's totally crazy. I literally live in a suitcase, and it's like traveling non-stop, you know. So I get up quite late, I have to admit. I change the day for night, you know. You know how it is.
You go to bed then, not too early, I think.
I go to bed maybe 3, 4 in the morning or something like that. It's
you work
totally
till
changed.
2 o'clock then?
Yeah. I just cannot sleep. And then I get up at 11, 12, 1 o'clock.
It's a normal musician life.
That's what I say, yeah. So that's pretty much my life, you know. And then I get up and then I have a coffee forever and I'm staying in my pajamas. Yeah. That's my favorite clothing.
Yeah,
I have
pajamas.
Tons of pajamas, you know, and they're all black. So I can go, if I'm in a hotel, I go to the breakfast in my pajamas. Yes. But it's black and nice, you know, I put the robe on.
Do you have any hobbies?
I do quite a few, actually. I'm a 4-leaf clover collector. You know the 4-leaf clover, like Irish lucky thing.
What do you mean?
What is in Turkish?
4 yapraklı yonca.
Exactly. So I'm a collector of those. I've got a huge collection of four
It's
clips.
very interesting.
Yeah, and I dry them up, you know, like nicely, precisely to keep the color.
How many you have?
Tons. And then I put them in a frame, and I put them on the wall, so they're all with me, you know. And I'm into photography quite a lot. I love photography.
The old time there was a special bath places, you know.
Yeah. I don't have that.
You don't have.
Yeah, I used to have a small camera.
The digital.
No, the digital, analog one, Leica. So
Leica, that's great.
And then in school, in primary school, I was attending we had like a course, different courses in school, yeah. So I applied for photo sektia, we used to call it. So it's like a photo course. So we had this dark room, and we were developing photos. It's a special process.
Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
Kad ja pođoh na bembašu, na vodu, ja povedoh bijelo jagnje sa sobom. Ja povedoh bijelo jagnje sa sobom. Sve djevojke bembašanke na kapiji stajahu, samo moja mila draga nade mirli penđeru, samo moja mila draga nade mirli penđeru. Ja joj nazva dobro veče, dobro veče, djevojče. Ona meni doj do veče
Fun, fun.
That's good. Sevgili seyirciler, bir bölümümüzün daha sonuna geldik. Saraybosna'daydık ve Amira Medunjanin ile birlikteydik. Aramızda müzik vardı. Sizin de aranızda sınırlar değil, sevgi, hoşgörü, müzik ve sanat olsun. Hoşça kalın.